And welcome back to Washington Commanders Insider. The Washington Commanders make, I think, a huge move here at the trade deadline as they have traded for Pro Bowl cornerback Marshawn Lattimore. And I must say, initially, I think that this is a great thing for the Washington Commanders because if Marshawn Lattimore still has anything left in the tank, which I think he does, he is going to be a huge impact for the Washington Commanders. Immediately, just being a Washington fan, I love this deal because I'm thinking of some of the prior cornerbacks that have played for this Washington franchise in the past. I'm thinking about Darrell Green. I'm thinking about Champ Bailey, D'Angelo Hall, Fred Smoot, Barry Wilburn, just a whole bunch of people out there that have been pretty good in the secondary for the Washington Commanders. And quite frankly, the Washington Commanders have always had a solid secondary. And so for the Washington Commanders to come out here and pick up a player like Marshawn Lattimore, I think that this is going to be huge. And when we look at the defensive ratings right now for the Washington Commanders, at this point of this recording, just going on foxsports.com, looking at the defensive rankings at this point, the total defense right now, I've got the Washington Commanders at 14th overall. Remember, I've been talking about this on the past shows that the Washington Commanders defense has been heating up. And that's what I love about this team in general, because there was something special about this team. Even when they lost to the Buccaneers in week 1, you could tell that they had something when they went out there and they scored the 20 plus points, and that's missing some field goals. And so now that the offense has picked it up since then, the defense is starting to pick it up. So they're 14th overall, which is a great sign. You add Marshawn Lattimore, I think that that is going to help them out. And as far as passing defense is concerned, the Washington Commanders really are not that bad. At this point, they are currently 5th. 184 pass yards allowed on the average here. So that's pretty good. And so I think that he's certainly going to help the Washington Commanders here, or hopefully he can push them up into number 1, because I think that this is a cornerback that is going to be able to essentially shut down the another side of the field. He's going to be a wide receiver 1 eraser. And it reminds me a little bit of Stephon Gilmore. I think with him, I think that they both have kind of the same similarities with the way that they approach the game. And I think that Marshawn Lattimore is certainly going to help this secondary because he understands leverage. So I think that that's automatically going to be able to put him into really any system and be successful because he understands what you are trying to do on a given play. And I love the fact that he is a player that can just stay on your hip pocket, which means that we're going to probably be able to get away with some man coverage on his side of the field and maybe not have to shade help over there. So I do love that about the Commanders here. I think that that frees us up to probably maybe put some more effort on another side of the field, depending on what's going on with St. Juste out there. I love the fact that Mike Sanders still out of Michigan is really starting to play some good football too. So this secondary, it's becoming something here, and I love this deal. I know it is going to still be a challenge for us as far as stopping the run right now, because currently the Commanders at this current recording are 28th as far as stopping the run. So I think that that is something that obviously the Washington Commanders are going to have to do a better job of. That just simply means that you're going to have to find a way to get in the backfield and stop these running backs before they get started, because for whatever reason, they have been able to really gash us out there. I'm going back to that Bears game. I think that that is one of the reasons why the Chicago Bears were able to stay in this football game. And certainly with the Giants, I mean, at one point they were just exclusively running the football. And so you know that that game would not have been as close had they been able to just shut down the run. But make no mistake about it, like I said, this Commanders defense is absolutely heating up. In fact, right now, we have them currently, as far as a scoring defense, they're in the top, or they're 11th right now as far as scoring defense. And then as far as red zone defense for the Commanders, that I think is going to get better too. Right now, we're currently 28th, so I could see that being a situation where, again, Lattimore is going to help us because you are not just going to easily throw those fades and things like that. Some of the things that we saw work with Malik Neighbors, I think that instantly gets taken away with Marshawn Lattimore here. So, look, I like this deal a lot. I think that this is perfect when we look at this deal and what the Commanders gave up. This is according to Adam Scheffler here. So you see that New Orleans is going to get the Washington's third round pick. They're also going to get Washington's fourth round pick. They also get their sixth pick back from the John Ridgway trade. And then with Washington, obviously we get Marshawn Lattimore, but we do get the fifth round pick from the Saints as well. And so I like the fact that Adam Peters did a great job and really not going out there and giving up a first rounder. He didn't give up a second rounder either. I'm fine with giving up that third and fourth round pick. And here's what I also love about this too. With Marshawn Lattimore's contract, he's under contract for another year, so it's not a one-year rental. This still helps the Washington Commanders, who are going to have a bunch of cap space going into next season. So I do love that. And so that is some of the things that I talked about going into this trade deadline, is that I don't think the Washington Commanders were going to be interested in going into a trade where essentially it would be a one-year rental. They wanted to get a player that they felt like they could possibly go ahead and build upon, because this is a good thing. You don't have any guaranteed money, I think, left with Marshawn Lattimore in that contract too, which is another thing. I think that now that they get Marshawn Lattimore over here at this point in time, I think that his contract, it's not that much on the books this year. So I think that this was a perfect move again for the Washington Commanders. I absolutely love it. I think that this is perfect for what Dan Quinn wants to do. And I just think that, man, if we can continue to get better up front, which I think we are going to do, one of the things that, this deal shows you is that this team is really committed and really building through the draft, which I think is 100% the right way. Something I've talked about, just really covering the Chicago Bulls and things like that, that you need to go out there and you need to do it the right way. Like, I don't think that you go out there and you just merely pick up free agents and you just don't merely trade for players and that's it. You need to get players that you draft in your system and that become great. And I think that this is something that this franchise is going to set themselves up for. So anyway, let me know in the comments here, what do you think about this recent deal for the Washington Commanders? Do you think that, yes, this is going to set them over the top in the NFC East? Do you think that, you know what? I think the Washington Commanders are set to make a deep run for the playoffs. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But anyway, exciting news for the Washington Commanders. I think that they make an excellent trade today. So anyway, this is Rico. This is Washington Commanders Insider. We're going to be talking about some upcoming keys for this game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who they had quite an NFL trade deadline day today. I mean, they made it happen. We're going to be talking about all the trades that they made in tomorrow's show. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.